This clip, or oh, rust tastes great. It's another day working at Freeman's garage. I'm Freeman, if we haven't met before. We are finishing up building brand new brake lines by hand and trying to copy exactly like the factory as much as possible on the abandoned 1962 AMC Rambler Classic Deluxe trim package. Previously, we knocked out the entire front of the car, and now we're knocking out the back. Oh yeah, the car's outside, and it's raining, so let's winter on in here and get to work. And the age-old question, is it worth making your brand new brake lines look identical to the way they were from the factory? Or should you just throw them in less than half the time and just call it good? I took advantage of the car being out of the garage for a few days and got a bunch of stuff that was over there moved to over here, so we got more work room over there, which is going to help out. And we are as far forward as we can go so that we have more room at the back of the car, which is good because we're on the home stretch. We're doing the back brakes now. We got a little bit of lineage up here, but once this is mega trip hazard through here. Once we knock out the little bit of lineage there and we tuck down, it's shooting us straight back to the back 40 here where we'll bring her home. I left all the tools sitting on this piece of cardboard, so we're ready to rock and roll. Just like the front brakes, we'll start off the master cylinder and work our way back. So we'll do this line here. This is supposed to go into there. And I remember that, well, I'm thinking hard. Yeah, this line goes, we gotta run it behind that to be like the factory. Okay, and then this little bracket here, this little tab, we gotta take the bolt out of this and stick it through there. This is all bolted down together. And the line runs back here. Okay, so let's disconnect right here and then build that line. This is a situation where I wish I had two sets of line wrenches. See what I mean? Two of them would help lessen the chance of strippage, because if one strips out, it's gonna be that one right there. Is it weird if I just randomly started thinking about Guy Fieri? You know it's Fieri, right? It's not Fieri. I can see him right now. He's in the kitchen at a restaurant, taste testing a roast beef sandwich. Oh, God! Jiminy Christmas. Okay, I don't know if that's gonna want to come apart. Holy cow. Yeah, well, yep, the one that I said would strip is starting to strip. Oh my gosh. I just wanna lubricate you without making a mess. Here's what we're gonna do and what we should have done in the first place. Take this 1/2-inch line wrench. Looks like a 1/2 inch. Looks like we need 1/2 inch, right? Yep. Okay. So we got that on there. And then now, let's reach my back pocket and grab our 3/8 line wrench. And we will put it right here. Or should we go this way? I want to be able to get good grip here. Okay, going a little bit further. here we go. That's perfect spacing. Oh, yeah. That is how we do it. I'm telling ya. Freeman's garage. We took a brake line apart, yay. That's something about working on old cars, isn't it? You think that it's gonna take, I'll rip that brake line out of there in 30 seconds, not a big deal. This probably took 10 minutes just to get this out. I'm taking the bolt out of our brake light switch / union, and I'm hoping it doesn't slide out of position, or we're gonna have to fight to line everything up. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, but wait a minute. Oh, I think I put this clip on backwards. Gosh darn it. I did. Ah, why do I have to be such a 75% purist? You see, it can't be that way. It has to be flipped around, even though we don't know if that's the way it was from the factory. Any Jim Bob or Joe Bob could have done anything on this thing over the years. But I just feel like this is what Mr. Romney would want us to do. Oh yeah, that just feels better, man. Just feels better. You know, technically, this is a screw, not a bolt. Or is it a bolt, not a screw? So that line's all done. And now it's under the car we go. Oh man, we're gonna have to reach deep for that one. But then everything else will be from underneath, which will be easier. Man, I love being able to put these lights anywhere we want. And that is a 5/16, is it not? I also love wobble sockets. We dropped the screw / bolt down there, but that's fine. We'll just leave that there for later. Time to go underneath. You may have noticed that the car is not sitting up on the nearly half a centuries old Sears and Roebuck jack stands like it once was. It's not that I don't trust the old gals, but I don't trust the old gals. Let me put it this way. I don't think that this car would collapse those jack stands. I love them. They're wonderful. And for many uses, I do trust them. But the car sits just high enough for us to grease ourselves under there on this creeper. So why not just play it safe here? My big jack stands are under the 56, so you know what I mean? We're not a secret agent, man. Our odds of seeing tomorrow are very high, so let's keep them that way. Secret agent. I remember when I was a kid, I thought that song said secret Asian man. Boy, did I have that wrong. And look at that. There's brake fluid leaking from the brake line. The fat line on the bottom is the fuel line. That's not leaking, that's dripping from the brake line above. So when we were wiggling just a moment ago, wiggling the line up under the hood, it must have broke the line right here. Wow. And for a second, I actually was thinking that maybe the brake lines would be okay on this car, but no. Totally rotted. Oh yeah. That's totally Rotsville. And you know what? I seriously need to go back to my work glove wearing days, because this flaky stuff's just gonna get injected underneath my skin. Okay, these will have to do. For now, unless I wear big giant clunky welding gloves. And I got some eye protection on too, because this is the rustiest part of this car. And I do not want this stuff in my ball of eye. Actually, hold on. I'll be right back. Secret Asian man. Ow. Okay. I'm back. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just... Recently, I've just been thinking about safety. Oh no. Darn it, that's what I didn't want to do. Okay, hold on, I'll be back. So yeah, I'm either just turning into a big wuss or I'm getting a little smarter. I don't know. But yeah, this is the part of the car that is actually rusty. And I don't want to rip this clip. You know, I don't want to rip it out of here. I want to keep it intact and just bend these tabs. Well, this is definitely another one of these moments where in your head you think, man, I'm gonna get under there and I'm gonna just bend those tabs and just rip all those brake lines right out of there in about 2 minutes. And then you get under here and the first one takes you 10 hours, and then you look up and down the car and realize you've got more of them than you thought you did. There we go. Just think about it. I just ripped the creeper. My creeper's falling apart. Just think about it. Where else do you get this kind of action? Where else are you gonna see this? There we go, we're a pro now. Oh my gosh, there's something living in here. Where there was. There we go. Wiggle technique. Hold on, wait, better get back up here because I need to see if this thing's gonna bite me. Some sort of, something protecting a rotten little nest. There we go. The Made in USA Stanley Handyman. Got it out. Oh, wait, hold on. More clips. This is where we're at right now. You got all that undone. And now we just got that. And we got to disconnect from the rubber hose. So I need to slide out, grab the line wrenches, and yeah, grab the line wrenches. We'll leave this clipped in here, and we'll leave this clip in here, just to hold everything together while we try to break this line free. Okay. And I did bring, well, a cheater bar, but turns out it's not going to work, so we'll put this on there. Ooh, not a little too easy. Okay, well the hose is turning, okay. So I need to get a wrench on this. Oh shoot. That's 5/8, isn't it? Right? Let's try this. 5/8 is the one thing I didn't bring. Well, yeah, I knew that was 5/8, so why did I bring a half? Oh. Secret Asian man, giving you a number. Think of me tonight when you lay down to go to sleep, and in your head you start hearing, Secret Asian man. Time to bring my other arm around in a way that might cause a permanent shoulder injury. But I think it would be worth it. Okay, gosh darn it. Okay, here's what we need to do. Well, it's a good thing we pre-lubed all this, right? Okay, what if we did this? Just pulling the car down. Yeah. Trying to think of a way to do this. And we'll put this on the end of the line wrench. Just trying to think of a way to do this without having to crawl out again. Okay, all right, here you go. Nice. I think that did it, Johnny Appleseed. Oh yeah. I really think pre-lubing is the key. Switch to an open-ended wrench for speed. Ow. That hurt the thumb skin. You know, parking brake cable, if you weren't so gosh darn important, I would cut you. Alright, let's bend some brake line. And don't let me forget to bring a wire brush when we go back under here. Alright. You know what I actually want to do with this one, because it's so long? Let's not cut it right now, but let's make a flare, double flare on this end and make the first bend or two, then slide it up from underneath and connect in to that union right there. And then we'll go underneath with all the excess line and we'll bend it all into position underneath there. Then we'll pull the line out from underneath the car and do the double flare on the opposite end of the line and tie into our brand new rubber hose. You know what I'm saying? After this first couple of bends here, underneath the car we could just do our bends by hand maybe. And we don't even know if these slight bends are even factory bends or not. That could have been, somebody could have put this line in the car in 1972. And they just, whatever they did is what they did. Although we really got to make sure we get this right, or we're not going to be able to tie into our hose. We'll figure it out. Turns out this isn't working as smooth as I thought it would. This thing just does not want to go where you aim it. Okay, well, I think I finally got it through, but well, the whole roll just shot off that way instead of straight back. What was I thinking? Okay, now we are about to get our first test fit done. Just want to make sure we're not getting dirt or anything in the lines. I did not snug these fittings down. I just threaded them in till they stopped, just so that we can have our, make sure we get our lengths correct here. So we need, so that's all good. And we're still good from from up here, so all the way over to here we're good. And we need, remember this needs to go into here with this clip. So we need to get this to sit up there. And once we get that, then we can continue our bends down. All right, so we need a little bit tighter of a curve so that we can line up where the clip goes into that hole right in the center of the screen. So let's try to do that without ruining the line, and then the next bend will be back to shoot us along that angle in the firewall. Okay, yeah, we really can't screw this part up because we need to bend these just right so that we can get into that clip there and line up with that clip down there. But it doesn't, this might not be that easy. Wish me luck. Yeah, that don't look too bad. We need to slide back a little bit. We want this bend to be nice and round so it looks like a machine did it. Okay, beautiful. Let's get the clip on here now, and then we start working our way back. Darn it, I tightened that down, but I gotta take it back apart because I want to tighten this up permanently now. We won't tighten up permanently on the master cylinder, of course, because the master cylinder needs to be rebuilt. We've been over all that, so we need to take this apart again. So I want to have everything permanently snugged up as we go. Well, here's the reason why we got to take that apart, though, is because can't get a wrench. Can't get a wrench in there. And darn it, took a little bit of work to get this clip in there. I just went a little overboard. I was wrestling with all that line down there. And I kind of did that. It's not ruined, but it's not a very good bend, so not the best for fluid movement, even though it would probably work. So I'm gonna try to bend a little bit above it, a little bit below it, and try to make that a little bit of a better curve. I'm trying to get the thing to go back that way and then follow the wall there. I will admit, I was just trying to get this one over with because it's been quite the event, and I'm not a big fan of 3-ring circuses, if you know what I'm saying. No offense to circus families and performers. I'm not a fan of 3-ring circuses. I'm sorry, I'm treating you like a baby. You knew exactly what I meant. Okay, well I meant to bend that a little bit more, but the tool slipped off, so we'll just see what it did. Okay, I want to do... Well, actually, that might be fine. I think I've had my knees bent the wrong way long enough in that position that they might not ever be the same ever again. And you don't want to do this because I just twisted a rib. That might not ever be the same again. And there's no way you're going to be able to get in here with me and see what I'm doing, but I have no choice. I mean, well, I guess I could get arm extension surgery, but that's probably pretty spendy. So I gotta, I guess, go dry caving here. Do this without ripping a wire out. That just isn't even gonna work. Well, it kind of has to work. Oh, I'm sitting on the valve cover. I didn't even think that was gonna happen. I don't know how I got in this position. I'm just trying to get my arm down here far enough to get some, well, hold on here. Oh, that's not gonna work. Well, maybe I can reach up from the bottom. I just need to be able to get enough leverage to hand manipulate this line against the firewall to get that clip in. Ow. Oh, okay. Yep, that hip's never gonna be the same. Can you guide me to where the hole for the clip is? Up? Down? Left, right, all around? Well, where in tarnation is it? Oh, I can see it. I don't know how I'm all the way under here, but I am. And I didn't bring the safety glasses with, and now I'm probably gonna get something in my eye. Because that's just how it works. What if I just did that? You know, just a little bit of cheating. Because I'll tell you this, I'm not taking this line off again, that's for sure. Oh gosh, I'm trying to keep this clip from sliding away. There we go, stay there. Stay there or it's gonna slide 4 feet away from me. And if we can't get the screw to start threading in by hand, we'll try it with a socket on it. How am I gonna do this? I just dragged the line, a roll of line over towards the passenger side of the car with my foot. Okay, I don't know where any of that went. Oh. Okay, I got lucky there. Where's the screw? Oh, come on. Wow, I can't believe I found the screw quickly for a second time. Oh, Guy Fieri! Found it for a third time. Okay, it's just barely in there. I need to get a socket on it. ASAP. ASAP. The mundo. Ah! I'm not sure yet where that cut out, but the camera cut out. It quit recording at 22 minutes and 17 seconds. And that was painful. Gotta be honest. Nose was scraping. That's how tight it was in there. And I did all that with one hand. This one was tied down by my side. Do I want a cookie? Yes, I do. I think I deserve one. Is there anything else that I could complain about? What day of the week is it? Is it Wednesday? Wednesday? We could call it Whiny Wednesday. I don't think it's Wednesday, is it? That took a long time. But it's in like Flynn. And we are in Shinbone Alley. And the curve of where the firewall meets, well, you could kind of call that the toe board, I guess, where it meets the floor of the car. I just bent the line down there right on that. It was just the perfect radius. That was a perfect example of why people that have lifts use them. Jeez, did I just complain about something else? Or was that a complaint? Kind of sounded like complaining. Did you bring the wire brush? Dang it! You had one job. I'm trying not to break that clip that we just spent forever getting in. I hope I'm not bending this to where we are gonna break it, because I can't see what's going on up on the firewall. I don't really want to snug this in all the way and make it a pain to take out, because we're gonna take it back out to get that there's that sheathing like this that's on the line that we took out. We want to put that back on, but we'll do that after we cut this new line to length. Okay, we're snapped into this clip. Oh, rust tastes great. Talk about a rust sandwich. Okay, so that's in there. And so we're looking like that so far. Okay, and we're clipped in here. Right there, and then if we go this way, which we have to change our lighting. We're looking like that. You know, if we did have this car up on the lift to do this brake line, it would not be very eventful, would it? Although it would already be done, and we could be on to the next thing. We're not gonna measure the perfect length with all this here, so let's cut off. We're gonna have to make 2 cuts, so let's just cut it here. And, oh, of course, the hand I need is, okay, there you go. Hold on, I'm reaching over. Reaching over. Okay, there we go. Let's cut this right there. Oh boy, that line really was broke. Rusted right through. Let's clean this sheathing up before we put it on our new line. Oh wow, that protected the brake line. Not just from abrasion, but from rust. We'll keep that in mind. Maybe a guy should experiment with completely wrapping all his brake lines, maybe. I don't know. Just food for thought. See the difference that this made? How corroded that is, and that's where it broke. And then just right here is where that sheathing was. What's that made out of? Asbestos? This is covered in a layer of gunk, and I'm scraping it off. I just kind of ended up doing this by accident. Well, not by accident. I was cleaning it, but I didn't think I was going to reveal that. I want to see if we can bring it back to its former glory. This is the Gunk Engine Degreaser Original. We'll see how this works on this. Some Dawn dish soap would be something good to try on here as well. I mean, it works on the ducks, right? Oh yeah. Full penetration, full soak. Oh yeah. Alright, I'll see you in 10 to 15 minutes. Synchronized watches? Definitely broke up all this grime. But it needs a rinse. Oh yeah. See that? It needs a rinsing and a squeezing. Some squeegee action. I don't think it'll ever be white or cream or beige or tan again or whatever color it probably was when new. But we'll see how close we can get it. I hope this works because this stuff's not cheap. She got a good overnight soak and it's still black. Let's take it out and see what happens. It stinks, son, it stinks. Question is, are we any closer to restored than we once were? I think so. I think that helped a lot. It just, we need to rinse it. Yeah, I think we need to squeeze some of this juice out and give it a rinse. That's what I think. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. There's no way it's gonna look brand new, of course, but... Well, I was just a little too rough on it, rinsing it out at the water spigot, but still usable. Still a shame, but still usable. We're gonna use it. I'm not gonna get depressed over this. As soon as this is dry, we'll get it on the brake line and we will carry on my wayward son. Maybe I should have put this in the washing machine. Okay, easy does it. Without tearing it. And we're keeping this attached as a tether. So it can stay as close together as possible. Maybe it will even stay together. And we'll put the short end on the uphill side. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Okay, we're on. So we're gonna slide on like so. Come on, I gotta get on a little bit more without ruining this. Was it worth doing this? Gosh darn it, yes it was. Now we're completely on. The train is on the tracks. So what we're gonna do is we're going to slide this all the way down to where it goes uphill on the toe board, where it starts going up on the firewall. Right up there, because that's where it needs to be, because that's where the rubbish occurs. Alright, so what we're gonna do is, here's that short piece that's kinda broke off, but we're still attached by this right here. We're calling that a lanyard. We're gonna have that short piece on the uphill side to so that it doesn't slide. If it was on the downhill side, it could slide away from the bigger chunk. So we're gonna do it this way, and we're not gonna have the spot where there's split right where this crease is. So we'll go past that. Yeah, might as well go like right there. Perfect. Okay, I had to get out to grab some tools, make sure we have every single thing under here. This is everything we might need, because this is gonna be a little bit of a challenge, double flaring this line under here. So, wish us luck. And let's see what happens. I need to shimmy on down the line and clip the line into the very first clip on the frame here. Okay. Snap in. Now, but we won't be snapped into the rest of them because we need some flexibility. All right, Sharpie. Where's the Sharpie? Well, I guess we'll lightly push into this clip here because that'll help get us a little more accurate. Okay, well, we got to make a little bit of a bend actually, don't we? So I would say, yeah, we probably want to go a little like that, right? Like a swoop, swoop. Okay, is this even possible to do? Oh yeah, okay. We'll kind of follow the curve of the fuel line, just so it looks cool, man. As long as we keep the rubber side down, you and I will be the only ones to ever see it. Okay, a little bit like that. Slide down a little bit more, because we want it to be a nice bend. Bend this away from the frame rail. Just a tiny bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say that we could cut right there. Okay, I have confidence in this. I have confidence in this. Guess what the one thing I didn't bring down here with us is? You guessed it, the fitting. Boy, would that be a crying shame if we double flared the end of this line and didn't put the fitting on. We might have to redo the entire thing. This would be a lot easier. Oh, oh, safety glasses. Thank you for being there and doing what you do. I was saying something, wasn't I? Oh yeah, it would be a lot easier to do this double flare, not under the car, but if we were to take this long line out again, oh, that would take a lot longer than just suffering with some wrist pain under here. I'll be right back with the fitting. Now let's put the fitting on the line. Let's not wait any longer to do that. Quadruple check that we put it on in the right direction. But yeah, that chunk that came off when we cut the line, it hit the safety glasses right here. That could have been the beginning of my eye patch days. There it is. I'm trying not to let the end of the line keep hitting the bottom of the car here because I don't want to get debris into the line. Okay, we're doing everything upside down. So, yeah, I gotta pay extra attention. I do everything the right way here. Well, actually, I got to do it kind of backwards. Are you still here? Are you still hanging with me on this? Yeah, looks fine. I hope. Oh, the pain is almost over. As long as I don't drop the little anvil here and get it all dirty, and then that's got to be cleaned. Okay, here we go. As much fun as I'm having, I can't wait for this moment to be over. It's a little bit uncomfortable. But you know, the boys that stormed Normandy, they weren't comfortable either, so I think I'm a lot more comfortable than they were. So I will just suck it up and deal with it. Boy, putting brake fluid on the anvil really does seem to make this part of the process go a lot smoother. Okay, I can't see. Okay, we're down all the way. I'm trying to do all this without twisting up the brake line and damaging it down on the other end. Okay, anvil comes out. Can't really see. We're going with it. Oh, please. Please. Okay. We'll go three-quarter turn. Okay, please be good. How's it look? I can't really see. Well, what the heck happened? That's terrible. Well, that's awful. That's never gonna hold. That's gonna blow apart. Yep. That did not work. We're taking the line off. I'm not gonna mess it up underneath again, so, because we've only got so much extra line, if you want to call it extra, to play around with. So once we cut it too short, or we cut too much off of it, the line is junk. We have to rebuild an entire new one. So hey, you know what? This is actually a good thing, because you didn't remind me to hook the heater wire back up, the ground wire. I'm just kidding. As a leader, I take full responsibility for this. The screw is being a bit of a pain. Which is, oh, there you go. Wonder where that went. That's why I didn't want to take the line off. Okay, it's right there. Magnet on the stick will get that. Can you just come out before we put a bunch of grime into the threads on that fitting? I did an awful job on that double flare. That's terrible. Not usable. Well, I mean, you never know, it could work. I highly doubt it though. Look at how bad that is. That's hardly even a flare at all. So let's redo this outside of the car here, where we can see what in tarnation we're doing, and get it back in the car, get under there and wrestle around with it and find out if it's now too short. I think we'll be good. Should have done it off the car from the beginning, honestly. Weak. Yeah, man. A little bit more beef, huh? I put a piece of electrical tape over the end so that when we jam it back down under here, we don't accidentally get some greasage or dirtage in the line. And man, look at that. That's dried out more. Looking closer to what it probably looked like when it was new. And I was just rethinking this in my head. I was thinking that we want this on this bend to keep it from chafing on the where the floorboard meets the bottom of the firewall down there. But actually, now that I think about it, I think it's to protect the line from rubbing up against the fuel line down there, which also has some sheathing on it. I think that makes more sense. Time to answer the age-old question. Will your 10-foot long brand new brake line fit back into your 1962 Rambler Classic Deluxe without issues? Well, of course it will, because we've done this a couple times now. Oh, don't scratch the hood. Oh, we are pros now. We are pros. And we're hooking up the ground wire for the blower motor this time. Alright? I'm sorry, but you've been demoted. I don't trust you anymore. Oh yeah, that's right. As a leader, everything's my fault. I take full responsibility. Everything's going back together so much easier without an extra 5 feet of steel line rolled up on the end. And look at that. Our sheathing is holding the clip for the firewall up and not letting it slide all the way to the back of the car. Everything is just flowing. And also, I think we're making an upgrade because I'm pretty sure this was on the bottom of the clip, between the bottom of the clip and the firewall. I think I remember it being like that, but there's no way the factory did it that way, did they? Because I'm thinking, wouldn't it be better if it was on top? Because in that way, if you ever needed to disconnect this, you wouldn't have to pull it out from behind. But is that really a big deal? And was this actually... No, I think I'm remembering wrong. Why would that have been behind? That doesn't even make any sense. Okay, we're gonna put this in here. We're doing it on top. Maybe since everything is bent the way it's supposed to and whatnot, I can get this nut on the firewall, the one down low, without going underneath. Oh, jeez. Oh boy. Well, I don't like stepping on this bumper because it's really nice. Yeah. I'll just go underneath. Ah! Well, I'm clearly not approaching this the way I did the first time because I can't reach. There's a spider web and a snail shell in my face. All right, guide me home. What? Huh? Got it. Come on, baby, thread all in. All right, that was way faster this time. And when I got under there, I realized that I forgot the safety glasses. And I thought, no, just knock it out. And then what do you know? Something got my eye. Grease, dirt, rust. I know, fellas, safety means you're weak. We all know that. And yes, it means that you are a yellow-bellied chicken, but I'm seriously getting over that. Just imagine what it would be like if I got something in my eye that I couldn't get out and required a surgical or some sort of emergency whatever. And the whole time there's a 99-cent pair of safety glasses in the room. Boy, would that be dumb. Oh, dang it. I forgot. I gotta snap in all the clips. So I'm gonna shimmy on down the line. I'll be back. You know, now that I look at that sheathing again and where it's positioned, I think it does both. I think it's there to keep the two lines from rubbing together. Yeah, there. Mr. Haney. And also to keep them from rubbing on the wall of fire. Okay, did we bring everything? We got the clip, brought the hose. Okay, we might have a problem. We might be a little short. Oh, actually we might have, oh, we might have lucked out. Well, actually, hold on here. How did we get all twisted here? Because that's not, that's not gonna go together at these angles. We have to make some sort of a decision, some sort of a move here, possibly some bendage. If we don't make a good decision here, this line's gonna be toast. What if we pop the line out of the clips, and then so we have all that wiggle room, and we'll thread it into our hose, and then we'll see if we can't maneuver the line by hand back into the clips. I think we should do that before we start making more bends and whatnot, because we can't undo that stuff. I just randomly have a Toto song playing in my head now. Hold on, do, 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 do. Brake lines aren't always on time. Alright, so now we have all this room. See, I just don't know if we can get over the fact that we have to make a bend, because, I mean, look at it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to, well, hold on, let me think. Oh, I don't think we have a choice but to put a bend right here to straighten our angle out, and then we just gotta deal with what comes after that. I don't see anything else that we can do. Actually, you know what? We're not doing that. I don't like it. It's too sketchy. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to pretend that our problems don't exist, and we're just going to move this line around. I'm just kind of bending it with my left rib cage. I'm just gonna make this go together without stripping it out. Ah, see, look. Aha! I think this is gonna work. Maybe. Oh yes, oh yeah, it is. We just need a little hand manipulation without ruining anything. Thanks for sticking with me, by the way, because this is taking a bit, but it's got to be done. Okay, there's a ball peen hammer within reach. Wow, that looks good. Can't believe how good that turned out. That couldn't have worked out any better. Let's start snapping into these and squishing them down so that it can't pop out. Work our way all the way to the front. Hold on. Hold the dial telephone. Let's see if this aftermarket brake hose is gonna reach before we go any further. We gotta reach to here. Oh yeah. Well, we might have to put limiting straps on the suspension, because when we jump the creek or a real good set of train tracks, the suspension's gonna droop completely. And if we don't have enough slack here, we're gonna rip the brake line right off. Okay, we ran into an issue here. We are about at the middle of the car now, just a couple clips from the end. That's the front. And we're a little tight here. We're not, see, there's this, we need to get in this clip here. And there's this gappage. So the line's a little short after everything we did at the back end. So let's crawl out and go up front and see if we can't find some extra couple inches of line up there we can shove back. Well, here's our line. Okay. That one right there. And it is Okay, we're connected to the master cylinder right here. We might need to undo the clip down here, and the clip there, and the clip down there, and see if we can pull any extra, but we don't want to make all this up here not sit properly. And we could leave it down below how it is. I don't like it, you know? I mean, how are you gonna off-road if you got brake lines hanging out like that? I don't like that, you know? Or slaloming through the grocery store parking lot, you know? Smacking parking blocks, you know? You're gonna rip a line out. Let's undo that one down there again. Gosh darn it. Let's undo that and see if we can pull some out. Dang it. I hate that one. This clip down here is my arch nemesis. Okay, no clue where the nut went flying, but let's get down there and see what we can't wiggle out of this old girl. Uh-huh. I think we got it. By golly. Might need some more for this one though. I'm just knocking rust down on my belly. I need something I can set on there and then hammer. Okay, so we just got that in. So we're in all the clips, but the thing is even though we're in here, we're a little, yeah, we're tight up against this. You know, and that's part of why the sheathing is on here for the fuel line and the brake line. See, this is the fuel line. That's not tight against this. What our brake line is. If we could get, we just need just a teeniest bit of wiggle room, and this would be good. I just don't like it that tight against here. But how do we, yeah, it's pretty tight up here too. Okay, time to go back up. And, well, actually, maybe we don't need to go back up. Maybe we could. Oh, shoot. I think we need to go back up. Because we just need a little bit more room, you know? Well, actually, I just pulled on this a little bit more. It's kind of reaching up and pulling. And there is some more wiggle room here. Now, I think I'm okay with that, because I think it must have been resting on here from the factory. Because why would they have that sheathing? I've gone back and forth so many times on the sheathing. But what a guy could do too is just take a piece of rubber fuel line and just cut it in half and put it on this piece right here, because this is kind of sharp, and that would protect the brake line and the fuel line. But yeah, let's go back up anyways and see if we can't get just a little bit more play and let that wiggle just a little bit more. I think that we got about all we're gonna get, because we don't want to start undoing everything going towards the master cylinder, because it's just going to be a chain reaction. And we can always put a piece of rubber on that edge. We got to see if we can get that screw back into that clip down there again. We might not be able to do that. Actually, I spoke too soon, because I just did a little bendage by hand. And we got, let me adjust the light for your viewing pleasure. We got a little bit more play down there, and I think that's perfect. And oh, and I can see the screw that we dropped. Magnet on a stick will get that. It's back in the shadows. This thing's starting to fight us now. We are on the cusp of the home stretch. Just a couple more lines in the union or two to go. And I was just underneath, getting that screw into that clip, into that hole in the firewall, and it went smooth. It was the fastest we've done it so far. And I had the socket in my hand, reaching up, and the socket slipped out of my hand and flew somewhere with force, but it didn't make a sound. And I stuck my arm up all over and could not find it. So instead of just being done, I'm back up here again, and we're gonna have to go back under after finding the socket or grabbing a different socket, but I don't know where the socket went. This is a real mystery. Where in the world did it go? While laying under there, I stuck my hand up into every nook and cranny I could find. The socket's just gone. I'm telling you, it didn't make a sound. It was like it landed in a velvet pillow. And I'm not playing around here. It didn't make a sound. It's not in here. Oh, there it is. How did that little minx get right there? Look at that. It landed right in there too, just perfect. Only here at Freeman's Garage you get this kind of extreme action. You won't get it anywhere else, folks. You won't get it anywhere else. But you see, this is good. Oh, I just knocked the block out from under the tire, or behind the tire that's supposed to keep the car from crushing me. I guess it's hooked up to the winch still though. But this is good. This is sticking my arm up here. This is what wrenching's supposed to be like. Well, it could be easier on your body. That's always really nice. But this is giving me the old-time feeling right here. Yeah, wrenching on your back, sticking your arm up in a tarantula hole. Yep, that old-time feeling, like an old gray cat in wintertime, walking close to the wall. Well, that looks pretty good. I think we're good here. See, we're good. That's perfect. All done. Now the very back. Rib twist. Sometimes it feels like it's not gonna twist back into the right place. So essentially what we got under here is this line here that's disconnected because in a previous video we put brand new wheel cylinders in. And we got this, oh, it's a little tight down here. So that's over there. And then we got this union here that we have to disconnect. We got to clean that union out. So that's one line right there we got to make. Clean that union up. And then we need to make this line here, which, you know what? Hold on here, it's a little, it's tight. Look at that. That line's pinched. That's interesting. But we gotta make that. Well, we'll make it without the pinch, huh? We'll leave the pinch out. I wonder how that happened. And we gotta go all the way down all the way over to that wheel cylinder over there. Now that we're down here and up close face to face with these lines, I can tell you that the way we're going to do this is we're not going to build anything underneath here. I don't want to do that if we can help it. We can help it in this case. So let's take off a line at a time and start copying it outside the car, but we'll have to pop down and reference the actual scenario down here to make sure we don't mess anything up. Normally I'd say let's do the longest and most difficult one with all the bends, extra bends in it first, but we're already over here. Let's get this short one off. The crust factor is pretty good on this one. In the previous video, doing brake lines on this 62 Rambler, we pre-lubed all this. But does it need more? Was that enough? Oh my goodness. I just pulled on that as hard as I could while being squished down here. Try it again. Yep, hold on, that's a shoulder ripper. I'm trying to reposition, but my Bootius Maximus is making full contact with the spare tire well. T-Rex arms. I'm looking up at the bright lights up here. That's what it must have looked like to all my high school wrestling opponents when they were getting pinned staring up at the gym lights. We can't get on there properly with a line wrench. Let's try an open-end wrench. Holy cow. Wow. Yeah, everything's just gonna strip and break, that's for sure. So there's this bolt that bolts this entire union onto the axle tube. So we got a 7/16 line wrench on there. And let's put this 5/8 right here. And let's see if we can break this loose, because if we can loosen this up, we should be able to fit a line wrench properly on the fittings of the brake line. Okay, that's good. That was a little too easy. Ooh. Some air came out. Now we can get line wrenches all the way around these fittings. This is taking way too long. These are just corroded way too much. But since we're disconnected on the ends, let's just get all the clips off that are holding this log line in place. Because then all of this will just come out in one piece, and then we can get all this apart on the workbench, which will be a lot easier. And I bet you the wheel cylinder on the right rear here was leaking. And that's why somebody came down here and pinched that line. So we got a clip that's held on by that bolt. And then I think there might just be one more down there that's just a bendy clip. I just crawled out and got a 7/16 socket. And as soon as I got back under here, I realized, oh yeah, the ratchet. We'll do a side egress. Oh, it's right here. Wow. Well, it was nice of them to put this clip on the top and not the bottom. Because if you take a bottom bolt out, you might lose some gear oil. Just put that right back so that can't play Houdini. Okay, so what if we do that? There you go. And we're completely disconnected, so we can actually, hold on. I shouldn't be using the screwdriver for this kind of stuff. The screwdriver's 100 years old. I'm just trying to do this without bending this all up because then we don't know what to copy. Okay, here's what we got, what we have to make. And when we were under the car, I said somebody probably pinched that line off because the right rear wheel cylinder was leaking. Why would I say that? Because the line going to the left rear is the one that's pinched. Hey, I don't know. I just took this off and put a Craftsman 3/8 wrench on here because it's a little bit higher quality wrench. So that should give us a little bit better of a bite. And you can tell it's tighter. Everything's a hammer. Wow. Holy cow. Okay, let's do this. Let's scrape all the crud, or some of the crud off of these threads. Okay, now let's soak it with some Whiskey Delta. Eat that up, sweetheart. Soak that up. Completely clogged. 100%. Yeah, a guy needs to buy a second set of line wrenches because that would really help out if I had 2 3/8 line wrenches right now. Ow. Ow. Yeah, we're slipping. Let's get the WD-40 off of the wrench and off the fittings. Oh, there came some old brake fluid. I'll do this the way that we did it in the first video doing these brakes. Now we got the line wrench on the fitting that is in the best condition. Let's put our weight on the pliers so that we get a nice bruise on our forearm. Okay. Not gonna work. This is how we do it. Thank you, jack handle. The next time you complain about the price of a floor jack, just remember, you're getting a twofer. You're getting a built-in pry bar, breaker bar. All right, now we clean this union and we build brake lines. Technical tip. I backed myself into a corner on this bend here. I couldn't fit the tool into where I needed to smooth this bend out. So what I did was I just took the die off of the tool, and then I just made sure I had the right size, 3/16. Made sure I was on the 3/16 side, and I was able to put it in here wherever I needed it, and then I just used my hand to bend it around the die. This is almost done, but what I'm doing now is I'm trying to mark where we want to cut this line off and make our final flare to tie into this union. You know, the final cut that determines if this line goes in the trash or if it actually gets finished and is good. But I'm cutting this excess off here because this keeps bumping into things, so I can't get my measurement right. Okie dokie, that's where we're gonna cut it, and we're gonna take the line out, completely back out, to make that cut and that double flare, because we are not going to do what we did with the previous line. Then we'll just have this short one left. And let's not forget to put the fitting on here before we do that double flare. And the pack I took this fitting out of is now empty. So hopefully we have 2 more fittings to finish this line. That's called suspense. My trick to keep you watching. Holy Johnny Pettimore, this line looks fun. That's the flare we just did, so this line is good to go onto the car. But first, do we have any more 3/8 24 brake line fittings for 3/16 line? We might. We just might. Uh-oh. I've got a ton of fittings here, but no more 3/8 24 or 3/16 line. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reuse our fittings off of our old line, which will be just fine. There's nothing wrong with them. It's not unsafe or anything, in my opinion. Am I going to be able to sleep tonight because of OCD-ish sakes, having fittings that are not perfectly matching in tone? No, I won't be able to sleep, but it's gonna take an hour to go get fittings at a parts store. So, not doing it. To add on to the suspense, since now the suspense of do we have enough fittings is over and gone, the new suspense trick to keep you watching to the end of the video here is we're going to try to make only one more tripperino down underneath the car, because I am 1000% confident in the fitment of this line. So we're not going to go under there right now and test fit it. We're going to call it, I almost said we're going to call it Sasquatch. I don't know why, but we're going to call it good. And we're just going to build our last line here, and then we're going to take them both underneath, and we're going to wrap this show up. We're actually going to keep this line intact, since that's a great template for possible future restoration use, but that really long line on the car, that broken half, we're going to hack the fittings off of that one because it's not a good template anymore. Doesn't have as much possible use. What do you think about that? Pretty snazzy, huh? Looks almost new. I'd be good with reusing all the fittings on the entire car, except for if you were to clean all of them up like that you'd be adding on even more and more hours and hours. Okay, backtrack on this suspense because this last little bendy here, I'm not 100% confident on making it on the bench here, or we're gonna make it on the bench, but I'm saying just kind of do it just by trying to follow this, because this kind of a curve here, this gap here is kind of throwing me off a little bit. So there's a 50% chance we'll screw it up. So let's take, we're not going under one more time is what I'm saying. It's gonna be a couple more times. Let's not mess this up. I shouldn't have tightened that union down all the way because I can't get the fitting in. So I gotta loosen that up a little bit, and then we can finish our test fit because we really don't want to mess this up. Okay, I think maybe if we made that look a little better. Okay, so let's just say that we're going with that. Okay. So now we need to think for a second. I'm gonna jack the back of the car up and take the right rear tire off because it's gonna make this a lot easier. It's hard to squeeze your head into a space that big. And once again, this is the one we really do not want to screw up. Okay, this is a real suspense builder because this is, I would say I am 40 to 82% sure about this cut. So now we make the double flare, then we find out if these lines will fit and thread in and all that wonderful stuff. Making sure we're flush. We cannot afford to redo the flare on this end. We don't have any room to be playing around with, so. Oh, the suspense. Just call me Alfred Hitchcock. If we need a flare to go good, it's this one. 'Cause this is the last. Oh, perfect. And this is the last one, so. Okay, let's not overdo it on the double. Oh. Oh. The dream. I think we just nailed the dream flare. You've heard of the 1996 Dream Team. But have you heard of the 1962 Dream Flare? Doesn't get any better than that. Let's clean it up a little bit. We want some good spinach. Okay. Let's find the other line wherever it went and find out if we're victorious. The union on the axle tube is towards the passenger side of the car, so I can actually reach it, so we can just test this one from outside of the vehicular. Ow. I think we're perfect. I thought it was going to be a little too long at first, but we just need a little bit more bend on the wheel cylinder end. Oh, let me double check what direction the bend needs to go. Okay, I'll bend this real quick and we'll put it on. Okay, we're in. Now we need the other end of the line into the union. I had to take that bolt out all the way out of the union, but we're in. Now we just got to see if the driver's side line fits, and then we snug everything up and we are done. Okay, here we go. The final countdown. This is the last time we need to come under here. I swear it's true. I swears it's true, Ossifer. I swears it. You're not gonna believe this, but I just spent about 10 minutes getting this line to thread into the wheel cylinder over here. I just could not get that angle. Okay, now we're going to try to get it into the union. Just got that bolt in there on that clip. That's just sitting there loose. Okay, now let's try to get into the union. Do not cross thread this. Where's a wrench? Okay, I thought we might be cross threading this, but it's just not spinning in completely freely because there's a little bit of pressure on the line. Where's the gosh darn bolt for the union? Hot dog, I think this is gonna work. Tighten this down, and then if all these fittings tighten up properly and that bolt tightens down properly, we're good. And now we're on the driver's side. This is the last fitting that needs to tighten, and I can't even see it. I think you probably can. Oh, hold on. Gotta make sure we get it into this, back into this clip first. Okay, I got that in. Now let's finish tightening this up. Hopefully it works out. Rate the suspense. 1 out of 1,000. It's a little bit snugger. And I probably wouldn't tighten up a wheel cylinder fitting any more than that. Wow, does that not look fan-damn-tastic or what? Oh, darn gas tank's in the way. What a beaut. Job well done. Thanks for subscribing, clicking the bell thing so the Goob Tube knows that you really care about this and you want to, you want to know when the new stuff comes out. I'm going to send you to the video that's on your screen right now. It's the one I've mentioned a couple times in this video, but this thing is, drop the trans pan because it leaks, take care of that. Test the transmission, rebuild the master cylinder. We hit the road.